So the first thing is let's take a look at Pharaoh. The Torah makes him very popular, very famous. I mean, who doesn't know a Pharaoh? Anywhere in the world, you ask people, who was Pharaoh? Everybody knows. He said, no, I won't let your people go. Everybody knows that. But if the Torah makes so much of an individual, there must be something significant. He was not just a petty dictator. He wouldn't get that much play. The conversations, the back and forth, Pharaoh said this, Pharaoh said that. If he was just an evil person, get rid of him and let's go on, So there must be something significant in everything he said because he's quoted. The Torah quotes him. So what was it about him? Aside from the fact that he was the superpower of his day, and what he did set the tone for all the countries in the vicinity, in the area, he was not a fool. And his arguments could be applied even today, and they need to be discredited, even though they do make some sense. So, briefly, what Pharaoh was saying to Moshe, you want to go out into the desert and do some religious stuff? That is so irresponsible. I can't let you do that. And he was really surprised that Moshe, of all people, who grew up in the palace and saw the advanced technology, the advanced medicine, the advanced mathematics, how they built a pyramid, which we still can't figure out, and how they were able to embalm a body to make it stay fresh for thousands of years. How did they do that? So Pharaoh's argument was, yes, you're working hard, but you're building the future. This is the future. This is civilization. This is the cutting edge. You want to go out into a desert and become religious? What will become of you? Useless nomads? And besides, you know what happens when people go into the desert looking for God? They end up drinking Kool-Aid. Happens again and again. And that's exactly what he said. He said, don't go. I see blood in your future. You could end up killing yourselves from frustration. After a few plagues, he said, well, okay, so if you must, take 10 guys and go. And Moshe said, no. Everybody, the young, the old. Pharaoh said, oh, you're crazier than I thought. Way too dangerous. No, I can't let you go. So he was making a lot of sense. And intelligent people could be convinced that he was right. Why wasn't he right? And in what way wasn't he right? See, he heard, when Moshe came to him, he heard Moshe say, we're going to go out into the desert to find God, to look for God. He said, that's insane. You can't do that. Totally irresponsible. You will become useless, you'll disappear in history, and you're choosing that over what we're accomplishing here in Egypt? The future? His misunderstanding was the Jews, Moshe was not suggesting that they're going to go into the desert to look for God, but that God is waiting for them, that this is God calling to them. They're not in search of a God. When he finally realized that by the 10th plague, he said, Why didn't you say so in the first place? If God is calling to you, then you have to go. And he chased them out. So here's the argument that presents itself constantly. Every country we come to, historically, we're challenged with that same question. This is the superpower. This is the future. This is something to look forward to. Religion. So what are you going to do? Send your kid to a yeshiva? Everybody's going to become a rabbi? You're all going to become useless people, like rabbis. Join us. We are the cutting edge. We're leading to the future. It's going to be a wonderful future, and you can be part of it. And we always buy it. And then it turns out to be a disaster. So the conclusion of that discussion or argument between Moshe and Pare says, we are the future. If you go into the desert, you'll become a nobody. But what's the end result? Where is Egypt? Ancient Egypt is an entry in Wikipedia. That's all it is. So what is the key? Godliness is the future. God's vision, God's plan for his creation, that's the future. Pharaoh made a terrible mistake. The future is not about what human beings can do. The future is the purpose for which human beings can do. And today we see it so clearly. We don't understand why we're here. So let me introduce you to the future.